All right, Professor of Everything, back again. I guess just episode number 2. Once a year, we're going to have to do better than that. So, there is another stimulus check coming out. If you saw the first episode, it was about that stimulus check a year ago. Stay tuned after this episode for a brief follow-up. Today, though, we're going to talk about what has become my primary political slogan in America, and that is that Republicans are wrong about everything, and Democrats are too stupid to know why. We have another great example this week. In Congress, 2 members, well, I'll just let this play. This is what Democrats and Republicans sound like to me.
I know it's a group that it doesn't like the old-fashioned family.
How dare you? How dare you say black people do not understand old-fashioned family?
Because I know
That should be stricken down.
I know it's
How dare you?
I know it's
That is outrageous.
I know it's
How dare you?
because I know
How dare you?
because I know
That should be stricken down.
They're ridiculous. They're all ridiculous. We hear the representative using a common tactic in persuasive speech, and the Republican Party lately has utilized it to its fullest extent. We know this is true. I know this is true. Especially the we. Man, Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, they're all about the we know this and we know that. And so this guy's just stating a we know and I know that he sincerely believes. He believes that the Black Lives Matter movement is anti-family. And more than that, that they don't want the right to not have their own family. They seek to do something that's going to disrupt or dismantle your family. And as usual, the Democrats don't spend any time trying to figure out why they believe that. They just think it's nonsense, rhetorical, hyperbolic, political speech. But it's not. This is a sincerely held belief, and all they do is ridicule it, shame it, strike it down. Should be stricken down. Okay, but shaming and striking down is not a counter-argument. Why don't you ask him why he believes that? Why would anybody believe that? Well, I know why. It started with a couple New York Post articles claiming that a slogan on a Black Lives Matter website was anti-family because they misunderstood the grammar involved. This is bad grammar leading to bad politics. Now, the sentence, it's not really compound, but it was well crafted, and I can understand how if somebody only read the first 7 or 8 words, they could misunderstand the meaning. But even a simple exploration of subject, verb, object identifies their error. They have misassociated the words disrupt and family. They think that the verb is acting on the word family, when it's not. The verb is acting on requirement. They're disrupting the requirement. This is just a point of fact. It's not a goal of theirs. Look at the tense of the verb. It's present tense. We disrupt. They're just describing what they're doing. They're disrupting the requirement. They're disrupting the expectation that they come from a nuclear family. And their point is made crystal clear when people freak out about this and think that it's an assault on their nuclear family because they believe that if you don't come from a nuclear family, you can't be as good of a person. Moreover, Jesus, what could they even do? Even if this was the agenda of Black Lives Matter, to overturn the Western nuclear, what could they even do? Like, how is your... It boggles the mind. Okay, grammar, subject, verb, object. Okay, in this sentence, if it just reads, we disrupt the Western nuclear family, and you stop reading, then you could think that that's what they mean. But it's clear that what they disrupt is the requirement. And you guys pointed it out beautifully. They upset all of you guys just by saying that they disrupt the requirement. Let's just look at the second half of the sentence, though. By supporting families and parents and children and mothers, and how is this an anti-family statement? Marxist. Must be Marxist. I swear, if somebody calls something out as being Marxist, you can be sure that they're a Republican. Because I don't know of any Democrats that get around and talk about Marxism. I'm sure they're out there, but the ideas of Marx are not driving Democratic agendas. I'm sorry to point that out, Republicans, but you are wrong about that. It's just insane. It's Soviet-era Red Scare nonsense. The same people that have pointed this out and said that this is evidence that black people and that Black Lives Matter are anti-family are the same people who have criticized the holiday of Kwanzaa as being made up, without bothering to find out why it was made up. It was made up to bring attention to the need for strong family units because they had been systematically denied to them by years of slavery and lynching and mass incarceration. And it's so stupid of the Democrats not to be able to recognize this, to be able to have the conversation with them, to be able to explain subject, verb, object, present tense. This is not a goal. We're not trying to come for you. Instead, they just remove the statement. Oh, let's just take it down. Let's just hide it. Let's just hide the truth. Just what they want to do to Republicans. Shame them. Strike it from the record. You're supposed to be funny. Come in here and talk about this crap. Give me a break. We got a lot more to cover. I got so much stuff on my desk right now. I've recorded some other lessons, but haven't had a chance to edit a lot of these, so these are just going out as is. I don't have time for any production value. Quick book referral. I like to do that on topical matters. This one's a little older. It's called No Shame in My Game. No Shame in My Game. Catherine S. Newman. The Working Poor in the Inner City. From 1999. But it goes into the lives of the working poor in the inner city and talks about what this statement talks about. It talks about the villages and the extended families that they grow up in and the responsibilities that they're born with in those extended families. So it's a really good read. If you didn't grow up poor in the inner city, you probably don't know what it was like. So read a book. It'll help. You can't read this book or have an honest reading of this statement and think that black people are anti-family. For fuck's sake. All right. We gotta go. I gotta write some jokes or something. All right, second stimulus is out. That's 1.9 trillion. I think the graphics guy messed up on some of the graphics in that first video, but the math is right. It's a shitload of money for every trillion that gets spent. It's about $3,000 per citizen. So we've just spent almost 2 trillion more. That's almost $6,000 per citizen. And again, you just might want to ask yourself, if you didn't get your share, who did? My second slogan about American politics, about American economics, lately has been the rich get richer, the poor get by, and life goes on. That seems to sum up our feeling towards taxes and social programs and whatnot.